Let's start off with who are the Tonga?
The Tonga, as the name says, they are people that are found along the Zambezi Valley and in Gwembe district in southern part of Zambia.
Where did the Tonga come from?
Not really originally. We just assume they are coming from somewhere in the north of Africa. We are not sure, but they were the first people to arrive in Zambia.
And how do the Tonga make a living?
Tongas are farmers. They are professional farmers or traditional farmers. They live on farming. They grow many crops. I can mention a few. They grow maize. These are the ones found on the plateau, but the Valley Tonga, they grow sorghum, brulash millet, sweet potatoes, cassava, pumpkins, and many other crops that they eat.
Do they eat meat?
Yes, a lot of meat. They eat meat. Actually, there were a lot of animals, like in the valley, there were a lot of wild animals. We were hunting. We were actually hunters. But as of now, we have no more wild animals in Zambezi Valley. They are all done by poachers. We have very few that are protected by the government. These are wildlife department.
What animals were there that are not there now?
In the Zambezi Valley, particularly in Gwembe, there were elephants. Hippos are still there because we can't finish them all. They'll stay in the water, and because we have no guns to use them to kill them when we hunt. So the animals, antelopes were there, buffaloes were there, but there are no more this time. And many others were actually there because there are too many poachers this time who are selling the meat instead of eating it all alone. But they slaughter animals to sell meat. So this is why animals are almost all gone.
Before the Kariba Dam, what was life like in Tonga country?
We were depending on farming as usual. We were rearing.
Okay, just stop there. When I ask you a question, try and use the question in the answer. In other words, before I say what's happening before the dam, then you start before the dam. Okay, go ahead.
Now, before the dam, which is now lake, we are near Lake Kariba. We were farming, as I said earlier on. We were also depending on fish, and we were rearing animals like goats, sheep, cattle, and these are the main ones that we were rearing. We were also doing the hunting. We are getting meat by hunting using dogs and bows and arrows and spears. We were using all these instruments when we were hunting.
Now, did you have any problems back then?
No. There were no problems. We were free. We were eating all this meat freely because we didn't even know that animals were supposed to be, someone should come and tell us that we are not supposed to kill animals. Maybe this is one of the reasons why now they are finished. But that time we didn't have any problems with meat because we were catching and killing wild animals and our own cattle and goats.
What happened?
Well, what happened is that during the construction of the Kariba Dam, which was, the program was done by the government, or the plan was done by the government, then they started constructing the dam at Kariba, which started around 1955, and then it was completed in 1958, and then the dam was closed, meaning the river was closed, and then the lake was formed, which is a great man-made lake in the world. So we were actually evacuated from where the lake is now. We were living along the bank of the Zambezi, so we were forced to move out of this bank of the Zambezi because of the Kariba waters. So that one has caused all these other problems. After the lake was formed, then we have more problems because we were removed from the fertile land, very fertile, that we are not even using fertilizer, what we use now. We use fertilizer, but then we were not using fertilizer. So we were harvesting twice in a year. So this one used to help us. And then drinking water, mostly we were getting it from the mighty Zambezi. So after the Zambezi was submerged by Kariba Lake, then we have found ourselves getting the waters from the lake. This is where we mostly get our water from. And then, of course, this time, because of hygiene, we have bores around. The government is sinking bores for us, but we still like the lake water because it's so natural. We are used to it. Unlike the boreholes, sometimes they have minerals in them, so the taste is so different. But the lake or Zambezi waters have no taste either. You can't get any taste. But the borehole waters has a lot of salt and minerals in them.
So when they built the dam, it completely changed the Tonga life.
Yes, when the dam was built, life changed completely, but not for better. In most cases for worse, because this time, as I speak, we have a lot of droughts. Mostly the rainfalls are not good. They are always shortfalls. In addition, it is too hot in the valley. If we miss rain in 10 days, then the crops would wither. Yeah, because it's very hot, and then we are on rock soil, which does not contain moisture much. In the process, some years we don't even harvest. We travel long distance to go and buy food like maize because we don't usually harvest. It is worse this year that we didn't even yield any crop. We are depending on outsider and the government who are bringing us here some food. Otherwise, we have more problems than before. I think although the idea of putting a dam was good, but then we have more problems. The advantage to us is we don't see it because we don't use electricity. There is no single villager who is provided the electricity in his house or hut. This is not there. Nobody except the government buildings, the schools, a few, but they are not more than 5. They are very few.
Tell me how the government forced you to move. What happened?
The way we moved out of the bank of the Zambezi was terrible. In particular for the people of Chipepo, noise was terrible. We were actually moved out of our homes or huts by a gun. Actually, we were actually evacuated on a single day, but it was terrible because they started with tears. After tears, then they were shooting those who were resisting to move and those who were trying to go and attack the soldiers by using spears. So they were shot at because if they didn't surrender when they were told to surrender, to put down the spears, then they were shot at. During that war, actually, 8 people were killed. The others were injured. Even children were affected by stray bullets were shooting, but they were not dying as such. So 8 of them were killed. And people were evacuated. The first people who were involved in the same village, the Chisamu village, they were evacuated the same day. They were removed to a place known as Rusitu, which is in Chirundu district this time. So, and these people are the majority because the land that remained in the district for the people of Chipepo was too little. Not only being little, it's very hilly. There is very little land remaining for farming. All the same, now that people are increasing, it is even worse. The land is getting scarce and scarce every day.
Sorry, we'll just wait until these guys. So what are the Tonga doing to solve the problem?
Well, this time we normally ask the government to come and to help us by one teaching us how to do the modern farming, including irrigation. We are already trying to start by using smaller instruments or equipments like generators to draw water from the lake. But this time we are doing that on a small scale. So in a way the government is trying that to help us so that we can have our own food.
Okay, let me just a second.